here's the thing, okay? There is a few reasons why you procrastinate and why you lack discipline. Number one, the most common reason why people procrastinate, it is because number one, they're afraid of failure. Two, they're afraid of the truth. Or three, they just simply don't want to do it. You don't have subconscious pressure to actually be disciplined. That also can be a reason why you're not pushing yourself, because you don't actually need to be disciplined and you feel too safe. There were so many situations in my life where I wasn't pushing myself hard enough, because at the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, you have like your assets, your savings, like you built yourself up, you don't really need to do this. I didn't feel that pressing force. Naturally, I think if you hit rock bottom, you will start to develop discipline, because A, you have to, B, in the future, you're going to be so scared of hitting that rock bottom again, you will do anything to not do it. For example, maybe you had like terrible spending habits, you let yourself go broke, maybe homeless at one stage. You probably, if you're smart, you're not going to let that happen again. Maybe you start to make money again. You're like, okay, this time I'm going to put some into savings, some into investment. I'm not going to go crazy because I don't want to make the mistake I did last time. Like, you'll actually be smart about it. But really, guys, ask yourself, like, what is my passion? And this thing that I'm so called passionate about, if I need to work this hard to have self-control, to have discipline, is it really my passion? Do I really like it that much? Life is too short to just go after things that you have to force yourself to do. There have been so many like business opportunities for me that I've said no to, which could have like just printed me money, purely because of the fact I'm like, I'm not passionate about it. I know I'm not going to be disciplined as well because I have no passion for it. If you guys feel like you really struggle with discipline and motivation, etc., and that you need someone to help guide you through it, consider therapy. And like, besides passion, you just have to have like interest. If you just do something purely for the money, you're going to find it really difficult to generate that passion and interest within you. I think money is not a huge driving factor unless you're actually starving, unless you immediately need the funds, unless you're about to be homeless, but like some severe consequences that force you to get into survival mode and figure out how to make money. Another reason why you probably struggle with discipline is your dopamine is just messed up. So dopamine is that little hit, that little positive high we get every single time, you know, we pick up our phone, we get a notification, you hit that vape, you get a dopamine hit. You eat that piece of candy, you get a dopamine hit. Because of like modern technology, social media, very cheap and easy to access dopamine, modern day people, their dopamines are just all over the place. And I've talked about dopamine resets in my old videos on my main channel, but you can absolutely reset your dopamine. However, it might take a little bit of time. So one thing I can recommend to you, we can do the extreme dopamine fast. Go 30 days, no technology. Like, you use your laptop but don't have social media, don't listen to music, don't eat interesting foods, eat very bland foods, potato, rice, no seasoning, just drink water, no coffee. Anything that's going to give you a cheap dopamine hit, you basically want to get rid of it. No reading, no watching movies. You're just going to live as if you're in the old ages. You have no access to anything apart from your basic necessities and of course the things you need to work. That will reset your dopamine. Your brain's gonna get so freaking bored, it's gonna go back to normal. And I've done it before, and it truly felt like my brain just like woke up suddenly. 30 days is quite extreme, so you can also do just a weekend. I like to do this once a month on a Saturday and Sunday. Exactly the same thing. I do no music, I do no watching, nothing. I'll even get rid of my laptop if I don't have to work. It's literally me in the world with my dog, in nature, maybe, ideally, bored until my brain finds this new way of living interesting. And then once you go back to your old ways, you'll feel a stark difference, number one. Number two, you're gonna feel bad. You're gonna go, and you will want to go back to the old way of being. So if you didn't pick up in that integration, hopefully you didn't skip that. In the integration, I also said, a reason you might be procrastinating and you have no self-control, yes, it can be ADHD, you have some issues. ADHD ultimately is linked to some dopamine issues. So I recommend you do your dopamine fast. But if you have a terrible home life, or you're really emotionally unstable, or you just have major fears over life, which will lead into procrastination, these are also major reasons why you can't do anything. So you might be depressed. Two, I think when there's so much pressure on ourselves, instead of kicking into survival mode, sometimes the opposite can happen and we just go into I want to fucking die mode. And that's when you might actually need someone to help you and get some external guidance. But be easier on yourself. You don't need to do everything right now. I'm so chill, truly. I'm not that hard on myself anymore, because number one, I believe in like the process of my life. I believe in divine timing, manifestation, God, whatever. And I know that everything will work out as long as I make baby steps every day to where I want to go. I'm doing well. I don't need to be a billionaire by tomorrow. I've got my whole life to do that. I've got my whole life to achieve whatever I want. Just be easier on yourself. Like, stop comparing yourself to other people. Nothing is real online. You don't know what people are going through. So I would implement meditation. Meditation will help your dopamine levels again. It obviously forces you to focus. Focus on your health. Again, if you have underlying health issues, mental and physical, this will affect your body.